Michelle Prince, founder and CEO of Performance Publishing Group, making a difference one story at a time. We'll be shining the light on successful founders, entrepreneurs, business owners, and leaders that are getting results and making a difference. We'll talk about how they built their businesses, are creating movements, and leveraging the power of authority in their own lives. Be sure to stick around to the end of the show and we'll reveal how you can be our next guest. Let's get started. Hey everybody, it's Michelle Prince with the Power of Authority Spotlight, where we shine the light on successful entrepreneurs, business owners, leaders that are doing awesome things or creating movements, and they're really leveraging the power of their story in their business and life. And I'm excited to introduce you to our guest in just a minute. But first, this episode is brought to you by Performance Publishing Group. Performance Publishing Group provides top quality, comprehensive book publishing services for soon-to-be authors. And the team has helped thousands of people realize their dream of becoming an author. As a partner publisher, Performance Publishing Group can offer you more than just expert guidance. They will make sure that you get the book of your dreams and you reap the rewards. To learn more, just go to performancepublishinggroup.com. All right, let me introduce you to Taylor McMaster. She is the founder of Dot & Company, where she and her team help digital marketing agencies keep their clients happy and keep agency owners focused on what they do best with full service client account management, CAM services. Taylor leads a team of client account managers at Dot & Company, training the CAMs to work with different agencies. To date, they have helped dozens of digital marketing agencies free up their time to prioritize the money makers in their businesses, while the Dot & Company team ensures their client experience is smooth life better. I love that. She's also the host of the Happy Clients podcast, where she interviews the top names in the industry, diving deep into what makes clients happy in the agency world. So welcome to the show, Taylor.
Thank you, Michelle. Very excited to be here.
Yeah, so excited. And I know our mutual friend, Ian Garlic, who we both dearly love, introduced us, and couldn't be happier about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited. And I think we have a lot in common. So excited for this episode. Yeah.
Same. Okay. So, your Happy Clients podcast. So I'm going to start there because it says that you dive deep into what makes clients happy in the agency world. What does make clients happy?
Yeah, that's such a good question. The biggest thing that we work on here at Dot is that client experience. So how to give clients in the agency world that 5-star, maybe even that 7-star client experience that makes them feel good about working with the agency. So everything that goes into that. So proactive communication, building relationships with your clients, making sure that your processes and systems are nailed down, but also that you have that human element, and really just having that person who can advocate for both the client and for the agency at once, while also removing that agency owner. That is kind of what we do best. And really just, being that client's friend in the agency. That is essentially our vibe and kind of what we train over here.
Yeah, I love that. And what a great niche, because there is such a need for that, especially as business owners. We're so busy in the in the mode of operating and doing what we do best. But sometimes that communication relationship piece, may not get the full attention that it deserves.
100%. And I think that, as agency owners are growing and building and scaling their agency, they quickly realize that the clients aren't going anywhere. They're the most important asset, and you need to make sure that that relationship is strong. And so by getting somebody in place who is really good at account management, that is their specialty, the agency owner can then go focus on growing the business or focus on all the other things that they need to do on a daily basis. And they have somebody who can actually, harness those relationships, build the SOPs and processes, and make sure they have that covered.
Yes. Okay. So I was about to ask, so what are some of the things that you do and actually, let's just do this too. I think you and I obviously know agencies, what that means, but can you just define a little bit more the types of companies that you're doing this kind of support for?
Yeah. So we only work with marketing agencies, which I know is like a huge group out there, but pretty much, any advertising agencies, graphic design, web design, copywriting, those kind of agencies out there. We don't do help desk or that kind of thing. All of us are account managers. who actually come in and speak to clients, work with clients, and manage those relationships.
Okay. Okay, great. Awesome. And so you help them create those, keep the relationships. So you reach out, and then you mentioned SOPs. So you also help put in place some
Yes.
process.
Yes, process is like the backbone of our role, right?
Yeah.
So, we of course want to build relationships with clients, keep projects on track, but in order for us to do that, we need to have processes and systems in place so that we can make sure that this role is scalable inside of the agency so that we can onboard one, two, 10 a client, 10 clients at once,
Yeah.
make sure that they're all happy, make sure that everything is running smoothly. All while ensuring that the team has everything that they need. So we kind of sit in that middle seat between maybe the agency owner and the media buyer, but also the clients. And so, in
Yes.
order for us to do our job really smoothly, we need to make sure those processes are nailed down. So, we have like tons and tons of processes and systems that our team uses, but of
Mhm.
course, everything's customizable to the agency because every
Yeah.
agency is so unique.
Totally. Yeah, again, great niche, so needed in all kinds of businesses, but particularly with agencies. And so that's great. I always like to ask people the backstory, though. So I love what you do, and I love what y'all are doing in the business. But how did you get here? Like, how did you
Yeah.
get? Yeah, how did you become the founder of this company? What's
That's
the
a
story?
great question. I mean,
Mhm.
like, don't we all just like somehow fall into it, right? Like,
Oh,
that's the
yes.
story,
There's
right?
no match, no plan for
No,
getting
no
your
business
yes.
plan here. Yeah. For me, I've always worked in marketing. I've worked in the corporate life. I've, started my own agency. And I kind of started to realize, what am I really good at? And what do I want to do with my time every day? And I quickly realized that what I love is talking to clients. I love talking strategy. I love, building relationships with people, building processes. I've always been that person who like loves to get stuff done, email clients, like that's my vibe. And I was like, that's what I want to do. I don't necessarily want to run an agency. I don't want to have to be the one to do all the sales calls and do all that. Um, Fast forward now, that is what I do. I run an agency doing account management,
Yes.
but a different type of agency. But yeah, so I was kind of trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. And I was in a community of other agency owners.
Hmm.
And I kind of said to them, this is what I want to do. This is what I feel like I'm good at. And all of them were like, oh my gosh, I don't know why you'd want to do that. You are crazy, but can I hire you as my account manager?
Yeah.
And that's when I realized there was such a need. And all of these agencies were big ones and small ones. And they just needed a really good account manager, but they didn't necessarily need somebody full time. So I was
Right.
like, you know what? I'm either going to just do this myself as a contractor and
Mhm.
work remotely and be fulfilled, or I can grow a team and
Yeah.
actually replicate myself. So we went the team route. We have a team of 35 of us, I believe now,
Wow.
and all working remotely, all account managers. And it's so fun. Like, I look back and I'm like, this is my dream job. And
Yeah.
now I get to give this to my team members and help other agencies. So it just
Oh,
kind of grew
wow.
from there. It's been 3.5 years of kind of figuring out how we wanted to really like build this business and
Mhm.
structure it. But it's been great. I love it. It's, we help so many people. So
Yeah.
it's really fun.
That is so cool. So if somebody if one of the 35 gets assigned to a client, do they just have to learn everything there is to know about the business, or is like, do they kind of become a part of their culture, or how does that
Yeah.
work?
Yeah, that's a good question. So, all of our account managers are marketers first. So, they
Okay.
understand marketing, processes,
Yeah.
working in an agency. So, that side is already checked. The learning curve happens when they come into an agency. It's just like starting a new job, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
learning the process, learning the team, etc. So, they come in and they are there to be that person in the agency. And to the clients, they don't know anything about Dot and Company. They just know that this person is their dedicated account manager in,
Yeah.
agency XYZ.
Right.
But the account manager does go in and learn a lot of things. I would say most agencies have a lot of processes in place, but we
Hmm.
might go in and kind of fix them or alter
Yeah.
things or massage them as we go. But
Okay.
the account manager will kind of step in and own that role.
Oh, that's so cool. I love that. Owning a publishing company, we have account managers and all that. So I know exactly what you are doing there. So it's such a cool niche. I've never heard of somebody doing specifically that. So
Yeah,
that's
and
really
we are
cool.
the only ones, and I know people will tell us that we're crazy for wanting to do account management, but it's fun. Like we all love it. We geek out, like we do calls, we do trainings, and we're like, oh my gosh, I can't wait to do this in my agency. So
I
yeah,
love it.
it's really fun.
So the show is called The Power of Authority Spotlight, and the Power of Authority is actually a title of one of my books, and but it's a play on words. You can't spell authority without author. Now you don't have to be an author to be on the show here, but we're always talking about what is authority. Authority is it's having a platform that people want to listen to what you have to say, and it's the ability to reach more people, make a bigger impact in the world, et cetera. So business owners have an obligation to build their platform and authority if they want to get clients. So I always ask our guests, what is it what are you doing as your company? Like, how are you building your brand, building your authority, getting more exposure to bring in more business? How are y'all going about doing it?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's something that's really evolved for us over the last number of years.
Yeah.
We grew primarily by word of mouth for most of our, growth.
Yeah.
So we kind of organically started to grow our authority. But what we did 2 years ago was start our own podcast, just like
Yes.
yours. And just we don't even use it as a sales tactic or a marketing. Well, it is a marketing tactic, but it's
Sure.
really just to get on there and show that we know what we're talking about and show
Yeah.
that, we love account management. We're always learning, we're always sharing all this free knowledge. So I'd say that's kind of like our pillar of authority.
Mhm.
And then doing
Yes.
a lot of trainings in other people's communities. So,
Oh,
teaching, doing free trainings of like, here's how we do this. You can steal these templates and use them
oh,
because we know
wow.
that, in order for this role to be successful, you need the right person in place. And obviously we have those
Yes.
people, but there's these people in other agencies too that just need that support and that training. So we do,
Hmm.
a lot of training and things like that. Um, and then, the usual paid traffic,
Yeah.
organic socials, things like that. But not yet an author.
Not yet. Well, hey, there's a
Yeah.
first for everything.
Yeah.
Um, well, and and I let you mention podcasting. I do love podcasting on both sides. Being a guest, being a host, because one, if you think back to even pre-COVID, I've always attended a lot of events. I've always gone to lots of marketing events, and I love to learn and to grow my business too. But once COVID hit, not many people were getting out there, so those relationships were also, unless you had already made those relationships, it's really hard to kind of expand beyond that. And so for me, I love podcasting because I'm meeting people like you who we would not necessarily overlap, maybe, but we get to over a podcast, and then it's learning about what you do. And I may not have ever sought out account management support, but when you meet somebody and you hear what their business is, like, oh, well, maybe I need that, or maybe I know somebody who needs that. So I love it from
Exactly.
that perspective,
Me
and
too.
but obviously the content is great too. And but there's just so much more. There's so much more.
Yeah.
So I love podcasting.
Yeah. And you can use your podcast in so many different ways, right? Like
Yeah.
we use it to train our team. We use it to share resources. People use it for social media,
Yes.
SEO, YouTube.
Yeah.
Like it can just go so far. So I love podcasting for that reason.
So the business is relatively new, under 5 years, right?
Yes.
So what do you project in the next? Let's do the next two. So it's your 5 year anniversary, and then the next 10. Like, where do you want the business to grow, to evolve to? Maybe you're adding more to it. What do you envision?
Yeah, yeah. So that's a great question. Um, our kind of 3-year goal is to have 100 account managers. We want
Awesome.
the team, we want the culture, we want the people, and giving other people their dream job. So that is definitely
Yeah.
huge. And then on our training side, our community. So we want to help every account manager that works in an agency. We think it's just so valuable to have a community of people who are doing what you're doing, to
Yeah.
ask questions, to get support, to share resources. So our goal is to really grow this community that we're just launching.
Hmm.
It's kind of like a membership, but we call it community because that's the vibe that we want.
Yeah.
And yeah, just continue to get better. Like
Yeah.
I think every business can always continue to optimize. So that's kind of our thing. It's not changing everything, but it's optimizing things, maybe changing our offering, maybe changing how we support agencies, but always kind of making that client first, making
Yeah.
sure that agencies feel supported and we're giving them what they need.
Absolutely. So let's talk a little bit about that new membership, because you are about to launch it.
Yeah.
So are the membership is for account managers or for agencies or both?
Yeah, it's for account managers. So
Okay.
agency owners, you're not invited. We want this to be for your team. Because what we realize is, we've done a lot of training for account managers in other agencies over the years, and they need support outside of your leadership team or outside of
Yes.
their bosses. So how we want this membership to be is this one-stop shop for account managers where they can come, they can learn, they can get all of our training programs. We have a program called Cam School that's included in the membership. We have all of our SOPs, our library of SOPs and templates, biweekly calls, twice a week calls of all of our team actually presenting something. So it might be,
Awesome.
best practices to onboarding, how to be efficient, how to deal with difficult clients, what is Chat GBT and how can I use it in my role? Things like that, right? That
Yeah.
are just like relevant and super important for our role. So continuously supporting them, holding their hand. And that is kind of the goal of the community.
I love it. And they can learn more at dot and company, right? .com or .co.
dotandcompany.co.
Co.
Yes, that is our
CO.
website.
And
Yes,
is spelled out. So DOTAND company.co
you got it.
to learn more. So awesome. So if
Yes.
somebody's listening and maybe they are an agency owner and maybe they're not even aware that they need a service like this, what would be some of the telltale signs for a company to say, you know what, maybe I should consider bringing somebody in to help us with this account management piece?
Yeah. So most of the time, it's when your business is growing and scaling, you have clients that are coming in, you are able to get them results. So you kind of have that base.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, maybe the agency owner is doing it all. So they are onboarding the clients, they're meeting with the clients, they're emailing the
Yeah.
clients, and they're laying in bed at night thinking, did I remember to do that? Did I send them that report? And always
Yeah.
kind of feeling like they're juggling a million different things. That is the time
Yes.
when you need support.
Okay.
And it's not just for you, it's for your clients. It will give them a better experience, it will keep them
Mhm.
longer, and it'll allow you to grow a lot quicker by knowing that you can just kind of hand off a new client to the team.
I love that. One
And
of
then,
our please go. Sorry.
yeah, I was just going to say, like some agencies already have account managers. So,
Mhm.
as you've grown, um, that's when it makes sense to maybe you need additional support. Maybe you need, more hands on deck. Then
Mhm.
the agencies will come to us and say, like, hey, I need, somebody fractional, but I just need the expert knowledge and somebody, the
Okay.
bodies in the seats, I guess.
Yeah. No, that makes total sense. Total
Yeah.
sense. And something you said in the beginning was the experience, like the 5-star experience. And I love that because one of our company's core values is how people feel when they work with us. We want we that is the most important thing because at least for us, when somebody comes to us and they want to publish a book, I mean, that is their baby. And we want them to not just feel like a transaction. We want them to feel like, we care because we do. Um, but having that extra touch point and checking in and how can we help and where are you? It just makes such an enormous difference. I know we could always be better at it, but I really see the need and the benefit of what you're bringing to these agencies. So that's really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And I think we've all had that experience, where you sign up for something and then it's just like, okay, well, what am I paying for? I don't have any updates. Like, I feel like I
Right.
need to follow up on things, and that's not a great experience for the client. So the more
No.
proactive you can be, the team that you have in place, pushing that forward,
Yeah.
it just makes such a difference.
Okay. Well, awesome. Well, I am so, thank you so much for coming on the show. I've learned a lot. I know others have too listening in. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I can't wait to listen and connect with all of your listeners.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely go to dot and company, DOTAND company.co. Check out Taylor, check out what they're doing, and definitely make your client relationship the best in the business. And you do that one thing, and I think everything else kind of falls into place. But that's it for the Power of Authority Spotlight this week. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Thanks so much for listening to the Power of Authority Spotlight. If you are a successful founder, entrepreneur, business owner, or leader that's getting results and making a difference, and you'd like to be on this program, please visit performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast to apply. That's performancepublishinggroup.com/podcast. Also, if you got something out of this interview, please share this episode. Just do a quick screenshot with your phone and text it to a friend or post it on the socials. If you know someone that would be a great guest, tag them on social media to let them know about the show and include the hashtag #ThePowerOfAuthority_Spotlight. I love seeing your posts and guest suggestions. We are regularly putting out new episodes and content, so make sure you don't miss any episodes by subscribing. Your thumbs up, ratings, and reviews go a long way to help promote the show and mean a lot to me and my team. Want to know more? Go to our websites, performancepublishinggroup.com or michelleprince.com, and follow me on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.